success within the region, the Caribbean region, is something that is pretty integral to the CSME movement, primarily the Common Single Market. One key element of the CSM is the free movement of people and goods in the interregional space, and it is expected that there would be this harmonizing of the tariff, the standards.
Well, first, as a young person, I am very excited about the movement in the Caribbean, free movement. Being able to go from one place or the other in terms of jobs, vacation, and various opportunities.
For me, it is good that we are able to use one another resources in terms that what we don't have, we are able and willing to get from others.
Yo, what's up, everybody? I'm from St. Kitts, and my view on the single market economy and the way food has been transferred to the Caribbean. I think too much of other countries' supplies are actually moving or move freely than others. So you're experiencing their culture and their food, and rather the equality from the other countries. However, though, I do think it's a great idea and a great opportunity to sell and market good stuff from other Caribbean countries, but I think it needs equality between all the Caribbean countries, and I think that would be more successful.
Really, there shouldn't be any barriers to trade and things like that within the region, but we find that increasingly there are some territories within the CARICOM region that have been implementing what are called barriers to trade. They do not say to you, well, you can't trade with me, but simply they frustrate the process. A prime example is Trinidad and Tobago.
I am still a bit concerned about movement of our products. I visited Trinidad just earlier this year and was a bit surprised not to find Guyanese products in the markets, or ice cream or margarine and other fabulous products that we offer. While I understand every country should promote their own, but if we're going to speak to unity and collaboration and joint efforts, then I think more should be done with regards to having products from other countries in our Caribbean neighbors.
They are able to produce things more cheaply, and they have a number of incentives and concessions for their manufacturers, and so they want to be the best at it, and so they try to keep out others. And to accomplish this, they simply frustrate the process. And we're seeing examples of it. Things like Jamaican patties. Increasingly there's increased scrutiny of the products, some of them unnecessary, even when the standards agency here in Jamaica, the Bureau of Standards, and all the other relevant bodies have given the nod, the go-ahead for these products. Once they reach the port of entry, then you have all these other things, which in the minds of many manufacturers is nothing more than a ploy to really frustrate the process and to stop goods from coming in.
In Jamaica, I think I see a lot of Trinidadian products in Jamaica. I would like to see more of Guyanese products in Jamaica.
Recently, my company, we've had a challenge with spring water. We made sure that we checked the standards that exist in Trinidad and Tobago. We made sure that all the documentation was in place, all the necessary microbiological tests and so forth, and all government documents were produced, and even then the water sat on the port for something like 3 months because persons within that standards agency in that country felt that it was within their interest somehow to go slow, to go through with a fine tooth comb, and to really come up with some very frivolous excuses. However, because our company is one such that has always had a reputation for tenacity and stick-to-itiveness when it comes to approaching business. We stuck to it, and eventually we got the water in. Now we're finding other issues. We're the only country that makes PAX teas in the Caribbean. We're now getting signs from that country as well about labeling requirements, things like those. And these are things that, in my mind, and I'm not saying that each country should not try to protect its citizens, but when it is that you go so far as to go against conventions, where it is that all these islands have similar monitoring systems, where it is their agreements, I think it is that we have to live up to them. And it's we're seeing the trade deficit shows us as well how some of our countries are not benefiting from this arrangement. It could be said that some countries are not doing enough to produce more, but then you can also produce, but if you can't get it into a country, it's another problem in terms of exporting. And while you expect to export a lot of your products to another person's country, you should also be open enough, as is the case, as is the letter and the spirit of the CSM. Open up your country to other countries, especially those within the CARICOM region. And I find there's an imbalance both in trade and in the attitude towards trade in the region.
But I think we've gone a far way. We definitely should do more in this regard, and we should give our fellow neighbors or countries the opportunity to have the exchange of products, so that we all can truly experience our cultures. Although we're similar, they're cultures. The culture is so dynamic, and things have changed over the years. But we really should be able to experience each other in that manner.
The other islands, in comparison to Trinidad, are a little bit more relaxed, and I wouldn't say relaxed in a sense that it leaves their citizens at risk. No, they apply the tenets of the CSM, and they allow equal access, and they do not tend to frustrate any process, so that they are the dominant power within trade in the region.